What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. This is another episode of Fight Talk with the BMAs, the basic MMA analyst. Solo one today again. A bit of a hard one for myself and K West to collaborate just because of timing. But I did want to give you my quick thoughts, and I know I'm 2 days late on UFC 303, an amazing event, an event that just constantly just changed. But no matter all the changes, it just was an amazing event and did not disappoint in any ways. Let's get straight into the fight. It's going to be a quick one today. Let me share my screen so we can go through the card bit by bit. But this card was absolutely amazing. I just can't believe what the UFC can pull off, which is always just, I don't know, it's just amazing. Let me pick that up, make the screen bigger. Yeah, all right, perfect. So let me share my screen. So UFC 303, PEREIRA versus man, why can't I even say his name? This is why I need K West here. I'm just gonna call him Yeri. My God, PEREIRA, drama. That's what he says, right? He's got everyone saying drama, drama. Anyway, this dude is just building a legacy, a fast legacy. I have to say, almost like Conor McGregor pace, in the sense of constantly being active, jumping in last minute fights, middleweight champion, light heavyweight champion, dominating right now in light heavyweight. Rematch with Yeri. I'm not saying that the first fight was close or anything, but Yeri had more success. In this fight, he just managed to just kind of shut him down. I don't think he had any. I don't think he was in any difficult situations. And that finish, oh my God, Charmer. Oh my God, that finish was just, it was just that knockdown, left hook that you got him with right at the buzzer of round one. And then you take a minute break, and then round two, you're almost immediately like, all right, well, this is gonna start, Yuri's just gonna kind of recalibrate, took that minute break and get back on track. Man, immediately just left high kick, my God, and just knocked out Yuri just like that. And it was hard to see Yuri like that. I think I like his energy, Yuri, and his whole perspective on martial arts and everything. It's really hard to see him go down like that. But Alex Pereira, man, just next level striker, just next level composure. I mean, these guys for sure had the greatest stare down of all time. I mean, that stare down was just intense. And I think the UFC definitely took advantage of capturing that based on I guess the first stare down, but they just zoomed into their face and just let them look at each other for a minute or two, well, longer than that even. Alex Pereira, man, what happens next with him? I mean, the guy's just absolutely amazing. He's got great energy about him. Outside of the UFC, he has great banter with Glover Teixeira. I mean, so it seems like a very down to earth type of guy. Right now he's building his legacy. He's building his legacy, and if he just carries on doing what he's doing, I mean, he's I don't know what his age is actually. Let's check his age. Does it come up? Pereira. It'd be good if it gave me more information about him. View fight history. I mean, look at his fight history though. Look at this fight history that he's had since. Give me dates. So June 2024. So he just had this fight right with Yuri. Then April, May, June, 3 months before that, right? Against Jamal Hill. What's that? 5 months before that, again Yuri. Load more, man. Come on, give us more. Why is it not working? Basic. Would have been to go back. Good to go back more. Let me. Nah. Anyway, I think he's building up an amazing legacy. He's doing it in such a short period of time. I think he understands. Or I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that. I don't know. I don't know what it is actually. Maybe it's that Muay Thai kickboxing background where you kind of fight more often. I guess he's not getting injured as much. He's taking advantage of the fact that, maybe he is, I believe he's late 30s. He's only been in MMA. Look at that, 11-2. And I think 9 of those fights in the UFC, right? I think he's had like, what, maybe three non-title fights, maybe two non-title fights, the rest all title fights. You know, beat Izzy. Okay, lost against Izzy and immediately came up to light heavyweight and just been dominating up here so far. Now, listen, doesn't mean he's the greatest light heavyweight of all time. John Jones is, when you say that division, John Jones is there, right? And while John Jones is still active, I know he's heavyweight right now, it's hard to put anyone above him. And what John Jones has done also, and the caliber of fighters that he went through, and almost two to three generations of fighters that he went through, it's a different level. It is. But if Yuri just carries on, I mean, sorry, if Pereira carries on doing what he's doing, definitely going to go down as one of the possibly lightweight goats, light heavyweight goats, one of them, right? I would love to see him fight Ankalaev. I know Ankalaev's been saying that he would knock him out and all this stuff. I think that's brave. I think that's a silly game plan, or could be a smart mental game plan to be like, I'm gonna strike with you and whatnot, and then I'm end up wrestling. If he does actually mean it, I'm gonna strike with you. I mean, listen, it's confidence, but the best game plan is to wrestle him. And Ankalaev is his base, I guess, is wrestling. And he's from that Dagestan region and whatnot. So why not wrestle? Why not be smart and use what you're best at or you're better at to get the victory? But I would love to see him fight Ankalaev. And if he does fight Ankalaev, and Pereira, I feel it would just jump in, soon. He broke his foot or toe, kicking you his head or whatnot, so let him recover from that. And I would love to see that fight. And then if he goes up to heavyweight, oh man, him and Jones. I know people throwing it out there, but imagine him versus Jones. Imagine Jones like, you know what, let me come back down to light heavyweight, and give him a good fight. But then again, Jones, he spent time going up to heavyweight, so if he was to drop again, that would be tough on his body. So maybe Pereira goes up and has a light heavyweight fight with Jones. But then I think with Jones, he just wants to do the Stipe fight and be done. That would be his legacy. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, anyway, if he does retire, I mean, guy's retiring on top, never lost a fight. Most, what do you call it? He's the GOAT for sure. But what Pereira's doing in just such a short period of time is so exciting, man. It's really so exciting to see his growth. It's amazing to see his growth in MMA. I know he had the long kickboxing background, and I'm not going to lie and say I followed it. I've just seen highlights, but man, this is exciting. And I do like his personality. There's something about it, the warrior spirit, and then there's a jokey side about him as well. So amazing. What happens with Yuri? I don't know, man. It's like, what happens when you just can't get the title? When you're beating everyone else, but you get the Potan is just, Chama's just there, Pereira's just there, and you can't beat him. What happens? What does that do to your mental state? Now, Yuri, I think, has got a strong mental. He does that, does a lot of meditation, and he does his training in the woods and whatever. But what happens when you're beating everyone else, but just to get that belt back, you got Alex Pereira in a way who you're just not having any luck with, and he's only getting better. And the second time you guys fought, he done better than the first time. I don't know. I mean, I would like to see Pereira versus Jamal Hill. That'd be good. I think that'd be a good fight. Again, winner gets Pereira, or winner gets Pereira, winner gets Pereira versus Ankalaev, because I would love to see that fight next. But I think he's clearing out the division bit by bit. We'll see what happens, man. I mean, but just an exciting one. So exciting in this division. I think so. But anyway, we'll see what happens with Pereira. I will not be surprised. It's only July. I won't be surprised if he fights 2 more times at the end of the year. I think he's one of those dudes who just shows up and fights, man. Minimal injuries, can make the weight. Oh man, exciting for that. That division's exciting again. I'm not saying that it wasn't exciting, but because it changed titles a lot, right? But just having that one dominant dude and be like, who can take him it's always a fun thing. Let's move on to Coleman event. Again, 2 bad ass dudes. I'm going to start with Diego Lopez, the dude. Again, this card and the change is ridiculous, man. I mean, just went from so many opponents, this fight, him post fighting Brian Ortega at 145, finding out a day before that Ortega ain't gonna make 145, so they're gonna do it at 155. Finding out hours after that, Ortega's not gonna make it. So the Dan Ige just being badass, just steps in on what, not even a day's notice, a couple of hours notice. I don't think I've heard that win before. Stepping in on a couple of hours notice, and then Diego Lopez again weighs in at 165 because they ended up doing it at 165, and he just chooses to fight. Like, yeah, I'll do the fight. I mean, just that mentality, man. It's just an amazing mentality. And obviously he's up and coming in the UFC, exciting in the UFC. So he's gonna be like, yeah, I'm doing it. Let's go. Danny Gay, I mean, think about that, man. Just like in the morning, you're like, yeah, I'm chilled. I'm gonna watch the fight tonight. And then you end up on the freaking card main event in the evening. I mean, that's different mentality. And so you got to give hats off to both of them, just stripes to both of them. Absolutely amazing. Can't wait to see both of them in more action. Diego Lopez is definitely putting his name out there. He's definitely, what's the word? Uh, he's definitely getting out there, pull it that way, man. That popularity, building that reputation, just building that badass sort of anytime, any place, anyone reputation. Absolutely amazing. So excited to see more of him. Excuse me if I'm tired. It is getting up to midnight, but I just wanted to get this done because it's been so busy. I haven't had a chance to go through the fights, and I did want to give my thoughts. Let's move on to the light heavyweight bout. Another bout that kept on changing from Jamal Hill to coming with the names, but at the end of the day, Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolores. Roman Dolores came up from middleweight. He's ranked in the top 10 most middleweight and light heavyweight now. You know, I think I get a look. End of the day, both did show up on short notice. Didn't really have a full fight camp. So I wouldn't say the pace was fast, and there was a little bit of like joking around and stuff like that. But they still went at it. They still went at it. Roman got the win ultimately. But great fight. I feel it was a good fight considering they both just stepped up. It was a good fight for that pace. So Anthony Smith's one of those dudes who just again another what was it 60 fights or something. This guy's been doing it for ages. And he gave Jones another good. He's one of the dudes that gave Jones a good fight. With Roman, I mean, look, I'm not gonna say I'm crazy familiar with him, but being in both divisions, I think stay up. I think you look quite small at the light heavyweight division in like, compared to Anthony Smith. I would say stick to middleweight, man. Do your thing in middleweight. Great fight there though. Great fight. Great for these two to step up. Before that, oh my god, this one, Bruno Silva versus Marcy Charlson. My God, that cut was deep. Oh my God, that cut was deep. And the moment the doctor's like, it's too deep, it's going into the skull, I was like, what the hell? And I know Bruno Silva was like, I'm cool. She jumped over the fence, talked to Dana, blood going everywhere. I'm cool. I think it was a good, I mean, listen, I'm no expert, but it was good to see that they stopped the fight because that could have just got bigger and bigger. That was a deep cut. Oh my God. But Macy put on a good freaking pace. I mean, these two kind of went at it and put on a good freaking pace. That was a good fight. I would love to have seen more, but the stoppage was, it is what it is. That cut was deep. That was a beautiful cutting elbow. I mean, literally sliced it open. I mean, it went into the skull. I mean, that was mad. Great fight. I don't know if they're gonna run it again. Maybe Macy gets a title opportunity after this. Not saying that Bruno lost badly, but that was a bad cut in the day. Could have got worse. Great stoppage, I would say. Crazy fight. And then lastly, I have to be honest with you, this was the fight that I was most excited about. Ian Gary versus Michael Page. Michael Venom Page. I was actually most excited about this. In a way, I was kind of happy that it was the first fight on the card, but I also felt like it could have been a co-main event. Mostly, in my opinion, Michael Venom Page. I think there's a different hype about him from Bellator coming into here. Just a different hype. I love watching him perform. I think it was absolutely amazing. I do have to say, Ian done a great job in utilizing what would have got him the win. There was a lot of talk about, he's gonna, Venom Page said it himself. He turns elite strikers into wrestlers, and that's exactly what happened. I believe I saw a stat where there was not one significant strike. Ian did not throw one significant strike. Maybe it was in the standing or around or something like that, but that's the first time. I mean, Michael Venom Page and his in and out point karate style really like shut down Ian's striking. Really, it did, because Ian couldn't really get nothing off. and Michael connected with some great shots. I mean, Dana said the fight could have been a draw. I kind of feel like it could have been a draw too. First round, Ian took it, got very close with the rear naked choke. Second round, Michael uh, MVP was great with the striking, connected with some great significant strikes. And then the third round, they both had some time. I feel like Venom Page MVP shouldn't have let him up in round 3 and create that space. He should have just stayed on top because I believe he was on top. Um, and he should have just stayed on top and fought like short little elbows and kind of win based on dominance. I know he didn't want to do that. Probably wanted to stand up and like try and get the knockout and whatnot. But he should have just won based on control on the ground. But because he let him up, he ended up taking. Did he get his back again? But ended up taking him down again, having control and finishing the third round with control, which ultimately led him to the win. I give Ian credit because he did what he had to do to win, and he understood I mean, and this is what I appreciate about MMA. He understood, even he's great at striking, a better striker like MVP kind of shut him down. So let me utilize another aspect of fighting to nullify this, which was grappling. So he did that, right? And he was close with the choke. That was very close. I want to see more of MVP though. I mean, I did want MVP to win biasly, but I can't wait to see more of him. I think there's so much more that he can do, and there's some great fights at middleweight, welterweight, for Michael Venom Page. So super excited to see more of MVP. Let's see what happens with Ian. He's another undefeated fight in that division. You got Shavkat, who he called out. Colby's there as well, which they were supposed to fight. Shavkat versus Ian, that's a great fight, and they used to train together, I believe. So that will be interesting. But maybe he should fight Ian, what's his name, Colby Covington. Build some hype. They can go back and forth with each other. So that could be a good fight. And the MVP, I would love to see him back in there. I don't know against who. I think doesn't need to someone in the top 10, maybe between 10 and 5. Let me see who's there. Let me just quickly pull up the division just to kind of do a better matchmaking from my side. Rankings. Let's see. So this division. Oh, no. What we got? Leon Edmonds, Kamal Usman, Shavkat, Kobe, Gilbert Burns versus Gilbert Burns. Still, okay. I know they've trained together. Maybe they might not do it, but boy, Wonder Boy versus MVP, freaking great quality style fighting. That'll be amazing. Jeff Neal is great. He just fought Ian, which is 7th, right? Gilbert Burns, I would say, yeah, in the top 5. Gilbert Burns might be fun. Stephen Thompson would be fun. Sean Brady would be fun. Yeah, I hope they do. Hope to see him back soon. He brings a lot of hype. I'm super excited about him. Let's move into the prelims. Which ones did I catch? I didn't catch these ones, to be honest with you. Didn't get to. I did see Payton. After the last time we spoke about him in his last performance, I had to check this out. The knockout in 19 seconds? That straight right was so clean. It's unbelievable. Clean. This guy, one to look out for sure. And I'm excited to see more and how he evolves. Of course, on this level, he's just looking unbelievable. Let's see how he progresses, but I can't wait to see more of him. After that last performance, and then to see this 19-second knockout, beautiful straight. Oh my God, I can't wait to see more of this guy. Absolutely amazing. Michelle Watson versus Gillian Robertson. I mean, Michelle Watson, like Gillian dominated on the ground. And Michelle Watson did retire. So good. Excuse me, good for her. She's been in the game for a while. I guess she made the right decision and she finished off in the UFC. So good for her. I saw Andre Arlovski. I mean, he lost, and I think Dana White made it clear that was the end of Andre Arlovski in the UFC. I mean, the guy's been doing it for nearly 20, 20, what did they say, 2008? Did they say 2008? Maybe even before that, 2009. I don't know, 20 years or something plus. It's crazy in the UFC. So, leave a legacy in a sense. The heavyweight champion, end of the day, there's a legacy there. Hall of Fame? I think, why not? I mean, the guy, he's been doing it for such a long time. Possibly in the Hall of Fame. But let's see, does he retire? Does he go to another organization? I feel like it's up to him, really. I feel like, depending on his financial situation and his mental, just give it up, man. Not in a bad way, but just like been doing it at the highest level for the longest time. But look, I didn't get a chance to watch all the prelims. I should go back and watch Performance of the Night, Joe Pyfe. I need to watch that Fight of the Night, Cobb Swanson. Now he always puts it up, and Andre Feely. I need to go back and watch some of these fights, man. Unfortunately, being in the UK, I don't get access to the fights, so I have to find other means of watching it. My TNT Sports here doesn't give me access. I need to buy the pay-per-view. But in the UAE, I've already purchased the pay-per-views out there. So anyway, just traveling makes it difficult. But I'll try and catch these fights later. Great card, super fun. I mean, exciting. It's been a great fight. Let's move on to next week. I'm gonna be quick about this. Is this next week? No, July 14th. So this is in 2 weeks. So next week there's no card. I believe this fight changed. I believe what's the name? Tracy Cortez jumped was a last minute replacement. I think so. Anyway, I think this is gonna be a fun fight. Rose just being, I think, a legend in the female division. I'm just gonna pull it out there. Just being in the is it the flyweight? Yeah, the flyweight division. Who is Zhang Wei Li, right? Flyweight? No, strawweight. Flyweight. She went up. Grusso. Anyway, in the strawweight division, just beating what's the name? What's her name, man? The old champ, the Polish girl. Why have I gone blank? It's late, that's why. Anyway, I'm so blank right now. But also beating her, who was the boogie woman in that division, Joanna Jędrzejczyk or whatever, and then beating Zhang Wei Li, who's also a boogie woman in that division. Rose is just another level. But it was weird that her kryptonite is where is she? No, she'll be in this division, right? No, she should be here. Ana Lima, Jessica Andrade. What's that girl's name, man? Hold on. I can't remember her name now. Anyway, the girl that she lost against, that's like her kryptonite, because every time she's gone against her, she's lost, which is interesting. Anyway, should be a good fight there. You got Drew Dober. You got Muslim. Who else you got here? Oh, excuse me. Tired, man. I was supposed to record this earlier in the day. Supposed to record this yesterday. Just been mad busy. Mad busy. All right. Well, look, this is the card for the rest of the week. Guys, I'm going to call it there. Let me stop sharing my screen. I'm going to call it there. Just wanted to give my quick thoughts on the card, some of the fighters, when I'm back in Dubai in a couple of weeks. Well, I guess that next card, which is in July 14th, that's when I'm going to be back in Dubai, recollaborate with K West and start doing these again properly with both of us. But at least wanted to get my thoughts out there on the fights, just my perspective, I guess, as a fan. But yeah, guys, gonna call it there. Appreciate all the love and the people watching, at least hearing our perspective as two fans who love to geek out about MMA. And yeah, appreciate you guys. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. All right, I'm out. Peace. Catch you on the next one. Peace.